From Rixie, this is the Daily Rec. I'm Jen Ray, co-host of Rixie's new dance and film podcast, Frameform. My podcast recommendation is the Dance Podcast with Lauren Ritchie. I was really late to the podcast party and only started listening about 3 years ago. But one of the first podcasts I subscribed to that I've stayed subscribed to this entire time is the Dance Podcast. Out of all the podcasts that touch on the topic of dance, this is consistently one of my favorites. I really appreciate Lauren's active listening and deep questioning. She's definitely a fabulous interviewer, forever student, and truly cares about meaningful conversations. Lauren is based in Alberta, Canada, but her impact is certainly global. I got to meet her in 2019 at her event, the Dance Teacher Retreat, in my home city, Vancouver, BC, Canada. I experienced firsthand her wealth of knowledge and genuine drive to help us all connect more deeply with our purpose and act in a way that aligns with our values and positively impacts others. She's just such a soulful, thoughtful person, and that absolutely filters into everything she does, including the podcast and these conversations that she has with her guests. Guests on the podcast have all sorts of roles in the dance industry and tons of experience and wisdom to offer. I haven't listened to all of the episodes, and I'm hesitant to name any favorite episodes for fear of missing some great ones, but I will shout out my absolute favorite episode with Leslie Scott because she is a mentor of mine and someone whose work I think deserves massive recognition and celebration. Leslie's the founder of YPAD, Youth Protection Advocates in Dance, of which I'm an advisory panel member, and her episode talks about YPAD's genesis, evolution, and mission. It's just a really great conversation that talks about dance culture and education and how we can be mindful raising this next generation, not just from the perspective of the youth involved, but also the adults that factor into the industry as well, by way of parents, studio owners, teachers. Anyways, it's a great conversation that covers a lot of topics and is very close to my heart. I really recommend this podcast to anyone that's involved in dance, training, performing, business owners, even parents of dancers, especially those thinking they may want to continue dance after high school. Even if that doesn't sound like you, you may be in an industry such as music, film, or other arts and culture sectors that are connected to dance, and therefore the topics of this show. Guests include people that work all over, but particularly in cultural hubs where there's a lot of booming business in the entertainment industry and the arts. People that work in, touring with musical artists or creating films or choreography for television. So there's a lot that you can learn just by listening to people that take on different roles in this industry that, like I said, even if you don't like dance or you're not involved with dance, there may be an episode in there featuring someone that works in an industry or an art that you do work in or you do find an interest in. So I encourage you to just check it out. I've been listening to this podcast for a few years now, and it only gets better and better. If you want to listen to the Dance Podcast with Lauren Ritchie or learn more about the amazing work that she's doing, the links are in the show notes. This has been your Daily Rec. See you tomorrow.